This is Trans-Africa Radio.
It is about time for us to get into our normal co-hosting / interview step, no matter what you call it, right here on Girls Gone Wild with myself, Thando Mthonti. And today we are in studio with Kea Mokoena. And if you're wondering who Kea is, well, Kea is basically a producer. She's done a lot. I'm looking at her profile. I'm just like, goodness, what have you not done? But she is in studio, and we are speaking all things on Untlameti Palazzi. And if you're not sure who she is, well, I do hope that you did Google her, because I did ask that you do earlier. But we'll definitely play a bit of a snippet from Untlameti a bit later on in the interview, so you can just know what kind of an amazing person she is. But without further ado, let's get this thing on the road. Good evening, Kea.
I had lots and lots of fun of weekend. I had a visitor, a very special someone from Untlameti's side. She came to visit me, and I was mostly with my kids. I just moved to Hartbees, Northwest, so I'm still trying to sort of find my feet. I'm loving the area. I was based from Joburg, from my early ages of growing up. I'm from Joburg, but now the transition to Hartbees is sort of like, and I'm every weekend I said to my kids, I'm going to take you somewhere different so that you are familiar with the place.
Okay.
But they love it. Yeah.
And why did you move?
Joburg life is expensive for us. I'm a single mom, and I'm raising 3 kids, as I said, and I'm also working for myself. So for me to be able to take my kids to a good school, live well, drive a reliable car, live in a secured place, I need to probably earn like 100,000 a month, if I live in Joburg. Yeah. But if I take it outside of Joburg, like, the closest being the Northwest, Hartbees, I probably need to make it with like about 30 grand, and I still live in a beautiful estate, and I still have, security, good security, and I still have a reliable car, and I still can take my kids to good school. Yeah. So it's really, really, it's money orientated, and also because I'm in a transition of, my roots are basically from Hebron, and I discovered that while I was doing the story of Untlameti.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I'm literally like tracing where I'm from, through this. So hence I moved to Bokone Buphirima.
Yeah, and I mean, what do you do? So you're a producer, and I'm sure that's more of a title compared to the other things that you do with your life.
I'm a businesswoman. I'm very old. I know I look very tiny and very young.
You look very young.
Yeah, and I look like I don't have anything that came out of me.
Yes, 100%.
So I'm 37, and I'm raising 3 kids. And 3 years ago, I started my own company called Prosperita Productions, and I traded it as under the Best Mom 7. Oh. When people started being on social media and Twitter and whatever, I didn't have a cool name, and my peers didn't have kids, so I was like stuck with 2 kids, and my friend was like, so libisala how and I was like, and I just had my second child, and I'm like, hey, the best mom, and it stuck, and to a point when people call me, they're like, hey, the best mom, so this and this amazing. And this. Yeah. So yeah, when I was still in advertising, working for another company, I traded Prosperita under the Best Mom 7, and I still kept it, and my email is kea@thebestmom7.co.za.
Oh, that is amazing.
7 being my favorite number. I was born on the 7th of October.
Yes, and it is the number of completion, the number of perfection. Yes.
You and I are going to the mountains.
Yes. So tell me, what led you to what happened in your career that led you to Untlameti?
I studied television and broadcasting in Adverts University, and I didn't follow the filming path, so I jumped straight into advertising for like from 2006 till 2014-15, and I met Untlameti when I was working for Tsalena Media. They had one of their accounts that they held was Census, that's SA. You remember when we were counting people, like back in 2011, I think.
Yeah, it was many years ago.
Yes. So they had like a CSI project in Hebron, and as an account manager or director then they said to me, well, you and your client being Stats SA, you need to go and do your June 18th being a former president Nelson Mandela's birthday. And they said, well, you're going to be going to Hebron primary school. So I went to Hebron primary school, and I was with client, and we were busy painting and cleaning the school. So So I went to the bathroom, you know, and I met this little child. Then I didn't know what it was. You know, I looked at her, I said, hi. Obviously, it's like, she was very, you know, like odd looking, if I may put it for lack of a better word.
Looking.
Yeah. Then I didn't think anything of it. And I couldn't actually tell anybody, you know, somebody
what were you going to say,
older.
kind of a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know, you know. And fast forward to last year, you know, I'm not so big on social media, you know, and I was just I think I just opened my Instagram account, and I was on Instagram, and there was Ntlamezi, you know, and I was like, oh my God, I remember her, you know. And then I started going through her profile. I'm like, oh my God, she is full of life. And you know, like when you have to sort of like say, make sure that this is the person that you saw, you know. I'm like, this is her. Like I kept on looking, I'm like, this is her, you know. And I hit her up, like I DM'd her. I said, hey, how are you? My name is Kea. I said, have you ever thought of doing a documentary about yourself? You know. Then she didn't answer. Okay. Then I went in again, like after a month or a couple of weeks.
You were in those DMs.
Yeah. Then I'm like, you know, then she didn't answer. Only in November she answered me. She said, well, to get through to me agreeing or to us talking about it, you need to go through certain people that take care of me, sort of like a management group, you know. And I said, okay, cool, just send me the details. And she sent me the details, and to cut a long story short, I went there on a Saturday. I presented my case, I told them who I was, and the conversation was merely to say, you know what, Ntlamezi, I don't want to, because I came up with an idea, I don't want to own it, you know. I want us to do it together. You know, I want you to produce the story. I want you to be part of the story, not only tell it, you know, but also from a business perspective, you know, from a brand perspective, because I knew that she wanted to be a motivational speaker and a psychologist, you know. So I want you to be that involved, to make decisions like, no, Kea, I don't think I must wear black on this interview. I think I must wear, you know, or I don't think I must say it like this, I must say it like that, you know. And we agreed. And then we started, like, you know, obviously because we didn't know each other, then we started hanging out, and, you know, just to get to know each other and just to be friends as well, you know, or to trust each other before we get to the friendship stuff. You know, and so that's how it started.
Yeah, and I'm going to play a clip from Ntlamezi on YouTube. Just so everyone who never had the opportunity to know or see who she was, just to hear a little bit of that. So let's just play it. Let's see. It'll be this one.
On to Mass Day for Last Day is challenging the medical community and defying the odds one day at a time. The South African young woman with progeria, a rare accelerated aging disease, has become an inspiration to many people around the world with her positive perspective and sunny personality.
Hi guys, I hope you guys are super good, because I am. I would like to say thank you a lot for the love, the care.
She gave herself the loving nickname First Lady because she is the first documented black individual with the genetic condition. According to Progeria Research Foundation, there are only 2 known cases of African children with progeria, and Ntlamezi is one of them. Doctors gave her a life expectancy of 13 years, but today at 18, this warrior is proving them all wrong. After recently graduating high school, she has made it her goal to work in the field of psychology to help people accept the way that they are. She wants people to know that she's not concerned about what people think or say about her, but puts her faith in God instead. On a recent Instagram post, she wrote, "Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God your needs and don't forget to thank Him for His answers. If you do this, you will experience God's peace. Let it be. Everything is in God's hands. In everything, give thanks." You go, girl. You're such an inspiration to everyone out there with a dream. This is Nikki Delgado for noligrio.com.
That was just a snippet from a Meet the Brave 18-year-old that looks 70 due to a rare genetic disorder. That is on YouTube, so if you go and search for that, then you should be able just to kind of find a little bit more about Untlametse. Now, yeah, very few people will know Untlametse the way that you knew her. The time that you guys spent together, I can imagine, was rather significant. What kind of person was she?
Untlametse Napa.
Really?
And she was like a normal teenager, you know. She loved skinnering, she loved dancing, you know, and obviously, like, you know, I met her. We spent like about 6 months together. You know, it wasn't such a long time. I started communicating with her last year in November, and I spent like about 2 months, you know, before her passing with her. But innately, like a normal teenager, una papa, she liked the latest trends. She loved trending on Instagram. You know, I remember one of the one of the conversations I was having with her mom. Her mom, Argona, you know, Untlametse used to say to me, Mama, how many lives do you think I've touched in the whole of South Africa, you know? And the mom will be like, when you probably have touched about 2 houses, you know? And she'll say, look at my Instagram, you know? So to show that she was a normal person, it's just that she had a rare condition, you know? But she loved music, she loved to talk, she loved Instagram and social media, she loved clothing, she loved music, she loved school, you know? So she was like a very bubbly, normal person, and that's what drew me to her, you know? To say that, okay, fine, never mind the condition, like what makes you, because I don't think if any of us around 100%. Here had that type of condition, would we wake up and just be like all of a sudden be bubbly? I mean, you've just played one of the clips, and I just, like, without looking at it, I remember one of the first one you played, she was having it was her photo shoot, you know, and she was using some product, you know, for lipstick, and she was so excited, like, oh, I'm using this, you know, and she was like, oh my God, can you believe that I'm putting this on my lips, you know? And that was her. She was just a normal teenager. And
when you read her profile, you do get the feeling that it was difficult, right? But that she completely overcame. Right? And she accepted. And I mean, I can't imagine at what age she decided that she was going to be that amazing. Right? But from your perspective, do you think that she... What do you think she woke up and thought every day?
I asked her that question.
Okay.
I said, Untlametse, every day when you wake up, what do you say? And she said, I thank God for the day.
Oh my.
Like, I asked her, we spent really, and I mean like really minimal time together. But obviously through the documentary, you know, because remember she passed when we were still preparing for the documentary. And when that moment happens, when they tell you that she's gone, you sort of ask yourself, oh damn, do I go on, or do I just park it and let it be another story of like, oh, do you know I knew this girl and I wanted, you know? And so in the time that we spent together, I sort of probably, I think maybe it was just God guiding me, you know? I asked questions like, you know, do you have menstrual periods? You know, do you have a boyfriend? You know, what do you like? What's your favorite food? You know, are you close to your mother? What do you like? You know, do you pray? You know, she was very spiritual. She told me that, Kea, I just thank God for another day. And that was her, you know. And if you go through her profiles, you'll see that she was spiritual and she loved quotes. You know, she would quote like a lot of people. Even you know, she'll quote things that I don't know, and I'll have to go Google them and be like, yo. You know,
And how did she change your life?
Through doing this documentary, acceptance and believing in yourself. Untlametse, she had a choice, you know, of either going to a special school or to a normal school. And she said, I'm going to take it on. She went to a proper normal school that you and I probably went to, you know, and she schooled with normal kids. You know, she went to Belgravia Convent. It has many floors. You know, she had to go climb the stairs and go, and they will tell you, you know, the people that were around her to say, guys, don't touch me. Just help me with my bag there, here and there, but I will do it myself. You know, and I had to learn Untlamezi through the people that I interviewed through the documentary. You know, and remember, when you do a documentary about a person, you have to be clear to whoever who's telling the story to say nothing but the truth. I'm not going to be judging you. You know, if there's anything that you want us to discuss before the camera roll, let's do it. You know, but I want you to tell me. You know, if you're getting uncomfortable about anything, tell me, and let's see whether we are going to say it either using a voiceover, using visual material, or you saying it. So, yeah.
Alrighty, so we're going to play a song now. My feelings against Casper put aside. It's a good song. It's a good song. Anyone who knows me knows that I've got a very complicated relationship with Casper Nyovest and his music. So, Kea, let's still talk a little bit more about your friendship with Untlamezi. You said you managed to dig deep and you managed to ask her questions. Do you reveal the stuff on the documentary, or do you kind of, are you careful now that she's not around anymore to make sure that you only reveal the things about her that she knows she would approve of?
Yeah, there's things that Untlamezi obviously wrote to her closest people, you know, being the people that I interviewed on the documentary. And when we had those conversations with those people, you know, and being having to make sure that, is this what she said she wanted to do when she's 18? And they're like, yeah, this is what she wanted to say when she was 18. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to take it to the documentary. Okay. Will you be able to send me proof? As you know, because you don't want to say, hey, Untlamezi said, you know, and there's no proof. And they'll be like, yeah, here's proof. This is a conversation I was having with Untlamezi, and this is what she said. I will send it to you, and you can show it to the entire world. You know, I mean, you know, the deepest secrets, it's not really secrets, you know. Untlamezi did want to tell South Africa and the world her story different, you know, to what she's been portrayed as, you know. That's interesting. All the time she's been like, look at her, she's got progeria. What is it? Look at her, she can speak English. She's from Hebron. Shame. Now she matriculated. You know, so it wasn't, we had made a pet. We had said, look, we are not doing an Achshame. You know? It's not an Achshame story. We are going to tell the world about the fabulous life you have. Hence, she named her film My Attractive Life. That's interesting. Yeah, you know, I remember sitting with her. It was a Saturday, and I think she had like a group of people that managed her, and they had like a meeting at her home, and we're sitting on the other side of her house, you know, having a cool drink, and I was sitting with her and having a conversation. I said, Untlamezi, in one of these, I'm like, do you want us to say Untlamezi documentary or what, you know? And she's like, obviously I had to guide her, you know, because I've been in the branding business for quite some time, you know. I said, look, your name says a lot, you know, but I think maybe you need to sort of like give it like a name that will ask people or make people aware why you named it. And she said, okay, fine, I think let's play with attractive. I'll say my attractive life. And I agree, because Untlamezi has attracted a lot of things, be it good, be it bad. You know, her taking that life of a progerian human being, you know, it's attractive. You know, whatever you may believe in, you know, from wherever you may be, maybe she was sitting somewhere in heaven or somewhere wherever, and some higher being said, well, now you are going to acquire this life and you're going to live in South Africa. And she accepted, and she attracted that request, and she took it on, you know, for 18 years. And it was definitely she came from a place of power, and she was very powerful. And she was. Even the things that she said, I mean, you listen to Untlamezi, you look at her and you think she needs help, you know, but listening to the people that we have been interviewing, Untlamezi was some sort of a pillar, you know, to them, you know. And you're like, what? Like, did she really say that? They're like, yeah, Untlamezi will tell you, today is not your good day. Why are you sad? Or I've been watching you the whole week. You know, why? No, you're not looking at me straight in the eye. What? You know? And you're like, really? You know, but you must also, like, we had to dig deep into things like, because she was aging rapidly, does that mean that her mental capacity, does that mean that her brain as well is
maturing
yeah.
at
So
a rapid pace?
those are the things that you also have to put in to remember, you know, to say that she probably she might be 18, but she was probably like thinking like an 80-year-old.
Yeah, she was very wise.
Yeah.
Very
One of her
wise.
friends actually said, it was so funny, she said, Dr. Babala, she said, I will have a conversation with Untlametse and I will say, Untlametse, am I talking to an 18-year-old or an Magogo?
Yeah, tell me which one.
Yeah, you know, and then Untlametse will say, you'll decide, and they'll have a conversation, and Babala will say, hi, I think this is a Magogo.
Oh
You
my,
know?
that is amazing.
Yeah, no, she was an amazing person, you know, yeah.
And did she date? Did she have boyfriend? Did she like tricky?
Wait for the docu.
Wait for the docu. Oh, that will be very interesting. And we'll speak about the docu towards the end of the interview, where you'll tell us all about it, what to expect about it. Oh, but I can't wait to watch it. And I think one of the most important things that keep coming up with you is that you're very interested in us getting to the truth. Right? It's not about necessarily selling a product. It really is about maintaining a certain level of integrity with how you tell Untlametse's story. Is her family holding you accountable? Are they checking on you? Are they saying, Kea, what's going on? What are you saying?
So they're used to people coming and saying, hello, we are coming to film, you know, and the following day they come and they shoot, and you know, so I remember I had a conversation with them months, you know, and now she passes and I'm still carrying on and saying I'm going to do the film. So the mom will be like, and I'll be like, but I'm not, it's not a news clip story, you know. I still need to know that I've got the right angle, you know. Remember, she's gone now, so the angle completely changes.
Okay,
you know, so you have to sort of like, who's going to tell her story better, you know. And I didn't want to sort of sell the conventional documentary, go to a house and be like, oh, okay, let's use jerky movements, cameras, you know, to show that it's reality. No, you know. So I had to go to a creative process where I was with my friends, like talking to my friend in Durban and be like, yo, Lucky, this is what I'm thinking. Do you think I'm on the right path? And then when I hang up, I go to another one. Do you think? So it needed to thoroughly, probably needs to be, we needed to research it, you know. But the mother was like getting so impatient. She thought that it was going to be like, okay, mama, you are giving me consent to shoot this. Tomorrow I'm coming with camera. She's like, no, I expect the camera any day. I'm like, no, we have to shoot it. I have to have a schedule. I have to employ people, you know. I have to do this. I have to reiki the place. I have to ask for permission. You know, I have to do so many things, like plan it like a proper film. She's like, oh, okay. And she saw it when we started filming that, oh, now I see. Even if she didn't have like the whole
picture,
understanding, you know, of how this thing comes together. But she's like, oh, okay, why, you know, you took such a long time. And also because I needed her to heal, you know, or to be in a better place to talk about her daughter and everybody else that came, you know, everybody else that spoke about Untlametse, because they were close to her, you know. So you need people, even if they have not healed, but you're like, okay, fine, it's 2 months since her passing. You have to
can't be tactful, strategic about your approach.
Yes, you know, it was very, very, it takes time. Healing takes time. You can't say it's gonna take 2 years. You can't say it's gonna take 2 months. You know, it depends on a person. It's you know, when you are ready, you know, you will feel it and you will know that, you know what, I've healed and have let go.
Yeah, and I mean, even though Untlametse was not well, her death was rather sudden.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody saw it coming.
No, we didn't. I also didn't.
You didn't see it coming. How has it affected you?
When I got a call the evening, I used to, when we said then we're going to do a documentary together, you know, like a film together, I used to see her almost every weekend. And right after her birthday, then I didn't see her for like the following week, then the week, you know, following that. She was busy doing interviews and it was Progeria month.
Okay,
so she was pushing the Progeria campaign, you know. And but I kept on calling her, you know, to say, hey, how are you? You know, what are you up to? And she'll be telling me, yo, Seskia, like, you're busy, you're go kaya, get the interview, get Progeria day, or hats on Progeria, whatever, you know. And the day when she passed, I was with one of the trust members, we being the people that used to manage her things, you know. And we were talking about having a gala dinner for Untlamezi.
Okay.
She had just turned 18, and we wanted to sort of position her brand, you know. She wanted to be a motivational speaker, and she for professional, she wanted to be a psychologist, you know. So she didn't have the resources to study further into being a psychologist. So she thought, you know what, I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I then found some school in Pretoria where they gave her a course, a one-day course for motivational speaking and public speaking, you know. She went in and she did the course, and she was like so excited, and now she had a booking, you know, for like the 25th of April or something like that, you know. And now I'm with this person, this lady in at her work, you know, at the military hospital. We're talking how we're gonna do the dinner and how we want to position our brand and da 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 da. It was such a lengthy meeting. It ended up at 4:00. Then I left. I went home. And fast forward to later in the evening, I get a call. You know, like she calls me. She says, I answer it. Yo, Manteboho, you know. She says, yo, it's bad. You know, and I think I wanted to hear Ntlamezi is in ICU. You know,
she's ill, she's not feeling well.
I wanted to hear that, but something at the, you know, like when you like, this is not it, you know. And she said, you know, and she said yes, and I'm like, God. And I went to her house. It was 12:00 in the morning. I just like, you know, I just got dressed and I went to her house. I didn't know what I was going to do. You know, I went there and I was the only car there, you know, and I knocked and the parents, the mom was there, the grandmother, the cousins, and they were busy obviously preparing for the morning because people, you know,
people come in,
people are going to be coming in back to this and stuff. And I just said, I'm sorry, you know, and I had just known the family, you know, it was like about 3-4 months of knowing the family, and other people that are there, they're probably asking themselves, what And I just sat there, you know, and I thought, what now? Like, I came here to tell her story. I didn't come to bury her, you know, or I didn't come to see her. Like, why? You know, and from the 10th of that month, I think it was April, to date, you know, I went to Untlamezi's house like regularly, you know, the funeral. And at some point I thought, do I carry on? Do I not carry on? You know, that's also one of the affections, correct? It's like what is this?
Yeah.
You know, do I tell it the story the way she wanted it to be told, you know? And the affirmation came on the day of her burial. I was driving to her. It was 5:00 in the morning. I was one of the organizing team members of her funeral. And I said, what do I do? Literally, like, please.
You asked her family?
No, like the family knew. It was there on paper.
Yeah.
Remember, it had happened when she was still alive, you know, but I had to, because now she's not there.
Yeah.
The angle changes, you know, everything, the dynamics are changing, you know. Are people still going to be interested in knowing about Untlamezi? You know, because we knocked on doors for funding. We're like, we want to do, and people are like, what's so special? Others are like, yo, she's still alive, you know. And I'm like, do I still? And I said, you know what, I'm still gonna do it. It was like a T-junction type of thing. Do I go back? Do I turn right? Do I turn left?
Yeah.
And I said, no, I will pull through this road. Get like a 4-way stop. I'm going forward.
Ahead.
Yeah, I did. Perseverance, I did. And now we're in post-production.
Oh, that is amazing. And do you still feel her energy?
I do. I ask for her guidance.
Really?
I'm like, yes, I'm a very spiritual person. You know, I believe in our forefathers. I practice Vipassana. I meditate. So I ask. When I hit the cross, I'm like, Untlamezi, I feel, you know, something like, please, you know, God, please guide me. What do I do? And you'll see, you know, in a matter of days, something will just lead me to that, and I'll be like, okay, fine.
Do you think that there's a significant, that it was kind of purpose, it was willed, it was fate?
I think
that
so.
you would have found her in the latter part of her life, not knowing, obviously, when you arrived into her life.
Who would have told her story if I didn't?
Right? And with so much integrity, right? Because I think that's very important.
Who would have?
Yeah.
You know? And it just, I literally, Thando, like, knew Untlametse for like this much of time. You know, I had to learn most of her things through her family and during the documentary. You know, I bawled out. Like, I sat there as I'm directing and people are telling and are crying and they're like, you know, and I'm also like, you know, I want to stand up and my team is holding me like, you're not standing up because we want to get this shot. Tanya's crying, we want to get, you know, and I'm like, I had to, and I'm like, how did you do it? How did you accept such a life? You know, with dignity. You know, who knew, like, you know, like things, it's an amazing story, you know, and it's a story that because she's South African, you know, she's from Bokone Bupirima, we don't document many of our stories, like stories, 100%. You know, so I want my kids, my child who is a year and a month old, Mwedi, to Google in 18 years about Untlametse's life and find a full story. Yes, you know, if there's a research, whatever, that they want to do to still find where she was buried, who her mother was, where she was from, where she schools, you know, those type of things. I want her life to live on.
All right. So when you speak out Untlametse, the song that I'm going to play next, kind of, that's the song that triggers, right? And it is Lira, Some Inside So Strong. Enjoy.
Yes, it's a song that plays.
This is Trans-Africa Radio. So
it's great. It's great. I mean, why should we be promoting other countries if we're not promoting ourselves? It's very great. I've got a very selective and actually my ear is snob. You know? So basalificator, bo Kefa Seminya, you know, I like those type of. I told you the song that I picked, you know, when I came here and you played it, and those are my type of songs.
Alrighty, and Kea, if anyone wants to reach you,
they can please they can approach Jerry. He is doing the PR, and I'm gonna give out his number. He might kill me, but it's fine. It's the only number I have for now. Until then, we open our offices very soon. 072 533 1890. And I'm also gonna be giving out the email address. I'm gonna read it out so that I don't make a mistake. This is a once off Pella. Remember, we don't want to be stuttering. So the email address is jerryewmedia.com. That's jerryjewmedia.com. So that's where you can reach us for any comments, any donation, anything. We don't want donations. We just like anything that you. I'm not saying that we are rich, but I'm like, you know, people are gonna come and be like, no, we are donating for Untlametse. No, go to their family.
No, that's not.
This is Trans-Africa Radio.